Hello and welcome to this video. It is time to talk about EPCAL and the Riverhead, the town of Riverhead. It is continuing to push to sell a good chunk of this land, this beautiful Pine Barrens land, to unconscionably to a developer. And we have some news about that I want to share with you. Again, I think that if this happens, it will be a travesty. This is sort of a diagram that I found on one of the websites here, and you'll see some of those areas where the pines were pictured right here, and they would be knocked down. So it's completely unacceptable. We can't have this. The Pine Barrens Commission, the state needs to step in. If they don't, then the Pine Barrens aren't being protected on Long Island, all right? Because this is a clear example of what is going on. So there was a vote that has been postponed now. All right, so it's a good sort of a good sign. Now the town in the article says, well, we have to, if we turn it down and we go against it, we could get sued. So what? So you'll get sued. The beauty of the Pine Barrens is priceless. I don't care if they take us to court. If it was my town, but of course. Well, let's read the latest article. This is from Riverhead Local. I'm sure Channel 12 is probably not covering it. But this is the article. I'm going to read it to you. And it says, a proposed resolution authorizing the transfer of land at the Calverton Enterprise Park to the Riverhead Industrial Development Agency will not be on tonight's Town Board and CDA meeting agendas. The Town Board was set to vote on the resolution tonight, as per a Town Board discussion at Thursday's work session and subsequent press release. The resolution was not available Thursday and had not been included in the resolution packet released to the press yesterday. Between Thursday's work session and this morning, the town clerk received 52 letters asking that the resolution be tabled and seeking another public meeting where the plan could be further explained to the community. Riverhead Local obtained copies of the letters through a Freedom of Information request. In addition to, so most people are probably against this, all right? Let me make it clear. So in an announcement posted on the town's website shortly before 3:30 this afternoon, the supervisor's office at the town is still working out the details of the plan with Calverton Aviation and Technology. The effort could not be implemented in time to give reasonable notice to the members of the public who may wish to review the proposed resolution prior to tonight's meeting. The town board wants to ensure the public has every opportunity to review the details of the proposed transfer prior to vote, the town supervisor's office said today. Supervisor Yvette at Thursday's work session announced that the town board and Calverton Aviation and Technology had agreed on a new path forward for closing the $40 million sale of the vacant industrial land in Calverton Enterprise Park. First of all, it's not industrial land, it's Pine Barrens, all right? How can they even refer to it as that? Under its 2018 contract of sale with CAT, the town is required to subdivide 2,100 acres of town-owned land so it can sell 1,644 acres to the buyer. The subdivision has been stalled by the State Department of Environmental Conservation, and I'm glad it has. Refusal to accept as complete the town's application for the permits it needs under the State Wild, Scenic, and Recreational Rivers Act and State Wetlands regulations. Both permits are required as conditions to the final site approval. And again, the state needs to step in and say, we are going to seize this land via eminent domain, and there won't be any development here. All right? That's what the state needs to do. If this was New Jersey, that's what would have happened. But no, not in New York. But at least they're doing something. The state DEC has required additional information from the town before it will accept the application as complete. Among them, a demonstration that the town water district can clear up regulatory issues surrounding the district's water supply infrastructure and that the water district demonstrate it has the capacity to provide water to the proposed development. After a lengthy standoff, the town sued the DEC, asking a court to set aside the agency's notice of incomplete application, but the court ruled the town's lawsuit was premature and dismissed the case. As explained Thursday by the town outside counsel Frank Izier, Riverhead and CAT have worked out an arrangement where the town will convey its land to the Riverhead IDA and CAT will assume. CAT needs to freaking get lost, all right, as far as I'm concerned. Will assume, I would tell them to get lost if I was the town supervisor. And CAT will assume responsibility for obtaining subdivision approval. The IDA, meanwhile, will entertain CAT's application for IDA assistance and examine the purchaser's financial ability to both close the deal and develop the site in accordance with the 2018 contract terms. If the IDA is satisfied, the deal will move forward. The IDA would lease the property to CAT. The town would be paid off the balance of the $40 million purchase price, which could happen within 6 months, and CAT would pursue the subdivision application. The complex arrangements would be spelled out in a lease and project agreement among the town, IDA, and CAT. Town board. Tonight's town board and CDA meeting will be live streamed on the website. So actually, you can do Zoom comments, but unfortunately, it's too late for that. But again, absolutely ridiculous. I actually have. Hold on, let's go here. Oh yeah, it's kind of interesting. It says, here we go, record-breaking land preservation tax. So why aren't we preserving the land? Where's the money going? So these are some of the. This is the article that was before it here. With Riverhead unveils a new path forward to close the EPCAL land deal 555. Again, they just will not stop, the town board. They will not stop, you know. And honestly, if we lose that, I think that is my. If those Pine Barrens go away, I think that it is probably going to be time to move to New Jersey. All right, because it shows that they don't care about the Pine Barrens. All right, so Riverhead officials today announced a new approach to closing the town's $40 million land deal with 555 affiliate Calverton Aviation and Technology. The approach would allow the deal to close without the town having to first subdivide the land and being sold to CAT. So they're trying to find a way around that subdivision thing. The land being as its current contract of sale requires. Instead, Riverhead Community Development Agency, which owns the land, will transfer title to all of its remaining land at Calverton Enterprise Park, a total of 2,100 acres, to the Riverhead Industrial Development Agency. The IDA would enter a lease and project agreement with Community Development Agency, and CAT would then that would require CAT to fulfill the intended development plan required by its purchase agreement with the town. The lease and project agreement would additionally shift the burden of obtaining subdivision and other approvals to CAT at CAT's expense. Once the lease and project, I wish CAT would just walk away and get out of here, all right? Once the lease and project agreement is signed, CAT will pay the town the balance of the $40 million purchase price. The process would take about 6 months. Prior to entering the lease and project agreement, the IDA would first determine whether the CAT has the financial wherewithal to not only pay the purchase price, but also develop the property in accordance with the development plan spelled out in the current purchase agreement. Without a determination of CAT's ability to fulfill its obligations, the IDA would not enter into a lease and project agreement. Again, this land is actually in the core preservation area. They actually don't have a right to development, but they think they do. And again, the Pine Barrens Commission, which is toothless, should step in and say, you can't do this, and put a stop to it. After the IDA approves, CAT would proceed with the subdivision application. Once the subdivision approval is complete, the IDA would transfer title to the town to the roughly 500 acres dedicated to municipal uses. The ball field, the land for the Calverton Sewer District wastewater facility, treatment facility, and the Henry Pfeiffer Community Center. The new approach would remove Riverhead from the subdivision process, which has been stalled at the State Department of Environmental Conservation over the Riverhead. So they're basically trying to find a way around the whole DEC thing over the Riverhead Water District's regulatory admission. So the town had negotiated an agreement with CAT to proceed, as Leisler outlined today's town board work session as CAT's attorney. Said CAT's attorney Christopher Kent. We want to assume that obligation. We're ready to do it. Kent said in a phone interview after the town, and my blood is just boiling reading this. I am so livid over this. You know, it's Pine Barrens. Haven't we lost enough Pine Barrens? I'll save the rant for the end. But Kent said the purchaser's preference is to utilize the Riverhead Water District's water supply. All the applications to the county health department have been processed, including the Riverhead Water District. The town has CAT's commitment to develop this property as the largest innovation and technology park in the eastern United States. No, it's in the Pine Barrens. We don't need it. All right. Why don't you put it somewhere in the middle, in the middle of the island that's already got vacancy, like Mineola. But anyway, we're ready to move forward with an IDA application where we'll demonstrate our financial capability to move forward with the development of this project. And we look forward to closing the deal. CAT's obligations under the purchase agreement with the town include investing $1 million in runway improvements within 2 years, developing at least 1 million square feet of industrial, beginning with 18 to 24 months of obtaining required approvals. You got to be kidding me. I mean, what the hell is wrong with Long Island? Well, like I said, if this happens, I am going to be moving to New Jersey. All right. CAT will pay taxes on the land and have a pilot agreement with the IDA. And CAT will also preserve the 1,000 environmentally sensitive acres deemed undevelopable. All right. Now, anything with pine trees is undevelopable. All right. But they don't get that. All right. So, we'll save a little bit of land. All right. You know, it will also pay $800,000 to light the Calverton ball fields. Well, that's great. There will also be a requirement that they can't interfere with the recreation trail that encircles the Enterprise Park. No. First of all, here. I'll fix it for you. No. No Enterprise. Just a park. That's what it should be. The purchaser will also have to post the performance bond required by the current purchase agreement. Town board members have been discussing the proposal extensively in executive session meetings and today publicly embraced the new strategy. This is disgusting. Today we are taking the next step in the process of realizing the full economic potential of this valuable town asset. It's a valuable environmental asset, while providing very clear directions to 555, ensuring that they must take every step required to fulfill their obligations to unlock this great potential. Supervisor bitch Yvette Aguirre said, "I'm sorry, but you are a bitch if you want to destroy the Pine Barrens." Reading from a prepared statement before Eisler's presentation. By doing so, this property will be restored to the tax assessment roll and begin to generate revenue for the entire community. That's all they care about is money. 555 has many companies which stand independently of the Gurmacine family holdings. Each entity has its own P&L and as their own revenue streams. Councilman Frank Birod, and I do apologize for not being able to pronounce the name, said the fail-safe in the new agreement is if as IDA determines that CAT cannot fulfill its obligations in the build-out phase, the contract will be canceled. Aguirre says the existing contract cannot be canceled without empirically documented default. Councilman Ken Rothwell said the new arrangement puts an end to ongoing financial concerns about the purchaser. They will prove that they have the finances. If not, it gives us the opportunity. Councilman Tim Hubbard, who voted against approving the contract in 2017 but was the deciding vote of approval of CAT as a qualified and eligible sponsor in 2018, said he was happy the 1,000 acres will be preserved as it was a concern of many residents. But there's still a lot of land that's not going to be preserved. If we look at this diagram right here, you see all these pine barrens getting destroyed. That's not good. Unless this is an old diagram. I mean, this is terrible. This is not acceptable at all. And so this is an outrage. It's an outrage, and there are a lot of people against it. If we go back here, you will see here. There's an article on it down here. Calls on board allow a latest twist. All right, so they have a lot of things here. And again, 555 chairman. Yeah, they just want to destroy the Pine Barrens, these people. They're evil, all right? And this is people are over it. The debate for the plans for this priceless acreage in the heart of Long Island has infuriated most town residents, all right? Ever since the crash landing of Sean Walters' Bezos-like trip into aerospace with Illuminati, his successors on the town board have found themselves in bed with the Gurmasians, but not getting much sleep. These developers bear close watching. Their finances are secretive and muddled, but with countless reports, we know they're in serious financial trouble. Recently, in a U.S. district court, they have been found accused of selling counterfeit hand sanitizer during the pandemic. Should they be trusted? I don't think so. We've been in this traffic circle many times. Let's tack the brakes once more. I believe the members of the town board and Manham supervisors should not be ashamed to admit they don't really know what's going on and to resolve themselves and the town to do. We have the members of the public certainly have no understanding of this latest development. So this is a letter to the editor here. But they don't really care about what we think here. And this is another one. Calls on town board allow public review and discussion of new EPCAL plan. I am a resident of Wading River, Calverton, a member of the Greater Calverton Civic Association, a taxpayer of the town, and administrator of a public watershed trust fund which covers the Peconic River running due south of the 1,600 of the original 2,900 EPCAL acres under discussion as reported to be on the town board meeting agenda tomorrow. The change in plans being reviewed by the town board appears to be highly complicated and requires an explanation to the public. I am therefore respectfully requesting that this resolution be tabled. So it was tabled. Fortunately, they did do the right thing. The proposed changes, however, are of interest from the viewpoint as possible being a far greater benefit to the town and region than the contract that currently exists. For example, of the destiny of the extraordinarily 1,000 acres of grassland being unique on the eastern seaboard of the United States, which Assemblyman Judy Giglio announced with great enthusiasm at Senator Palumbo's Long Island Environmental Roundtable last Thursday, reporting that, in her opinion, with this proposed change, the grasslands will be preserved. Yeah, but what about the Pine Barrens? Of further interest is the density of the industrial lands which would be transferred to the IDA that the grasslands surround, required in the original transfer to Riverhead to serve as an economic development to replace all or part of the economically development activity lost at the Naval Weapons Industrial Reserve Plant. So no mention of the Pine Barrens in here. If I can find some new diagrams, I'll share them with you. But it's obvious that this is a concern, all right? And I'm not clear as to where they're going to build stuff, but this diagram here shows Pine Barrens being destroyed, all right? Right here, this picture right here. Oh, I already closed the pictures. The pictures that are on the screen earlier of the pine trees were in this area right here, and we will be back in this area. We're going to be back hiking through here, so you can rest assured on that. This is not something I'm going to stand by and let happen. If we do lose these Pine Barrens, then it shows that the Pine Barrens on Long Island are not protected, and that I will have to go live somewhere where the Pine Barrens are protected, and that's the state of New Jersey. So let's hope Riverhead does the right thing and, just stop this thing. Just stop it, all right? Just stop it, all right? You've been talking about this for years and years and years, and it's enough. It really is enough. And I'm just going to put Riverhead Town on the screen here so you know what their website is and the people in charge. And here's the resolution. Okay. This was the resolution here that they have here. There's not really much information here, but it was tabled. It is not on the agenda tonight. This needs to stop. Just stop it. Yvette, stop it. All right? People want us to protect the Pine Barrens. Our drinking water is there. They're a vital resource. We have enough development on this island already. You have to stop it. All right? That's the bottom line. All right? So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching.